Are you eating like a bird and cutting out every bad food you can think of, but the fat just hasn't moved an inch for years? This is not a calorie problem, okay? So once you hit your 40s, your body enters metabolic gridlock, okay? And that belly fat is actually systemic waste that's physically stuck in your system because your exit ramps are blocked, okay? I've spent the last 6 years studying the biological mechanics of why the calorie deficient fails once your system does become stagnant. And in the next few minutes, I'm showing you how to clear that backlog so the fat finally releases naturally. So let's get into it. First off, me and you, we are living electric water-based beings. Okay, we're living, right? We're electric. We're made out of millions and trillions of atoms and cells, and the body never shuts off, right? Every time we go to sleep, the body is internally cleansing, okay? It's eliminating, purifying, and we're water-based. We're like 60 to 70% water, okay? And a lot of us in society are eating a diet that is opposite of who we are, right? We're eating these dead, dehydrating, non-electric, just completely dead, dense foods, okay? So you can be eating in a calorie deficient all you want, but if you're not eating a reflection of who you are, you're not going to lose weight, okay? Because taking a step back, all of this fat, this excess weight is just undigested waste, meaning your natural body couldn't recognize, let alone break down that food that you're feeding it. So all of these healthy processed foods that we're being marketed to, whole grain breads, healthy cereals, healthy bars, protein powders, all of these, none of that is in nature. Okay, again, we stem from nature. We are originated in nature. So if it's not in nature and it's highly processed, your body can't recognize it, so it doesn't break it down and it turns into undigested waste, and this undigested waste just gets stored as fat, okay? And it gets clogged in your digestive tract, in your colon, and that's probably why you're not pooping as much as you eat. Like if you eat 3 to 4 times a day and you're only pooping once or twice, there is waste that's not being cleared out, okay? So you can be eating in a calorie deficient all you want, but if you're not eating a diet, a reflection of who you are, mostly, right? Water-based, electric, living foods, this waste can't come out. It's just piling, even if you're eating 1,200 calories, if it's granola bars or some rice or like anything that isn't water rich, electric, and living, then it's just piling on top of that clogged waste. Okay, it's piling on top of this undigested waste sitting in your digestive tract, showing up as belly fat. Okay, so we have to start eating more water rich foods, and you can do this gradually, right? Start replacing your breakfast every day with just a big fruit meal. Okay, I'm gonna go back inside because this gutter is a little loud. Start with a big fruit meal, okay? And what fruit does is it's electric, okay? And it's very purifying. Fruits, you want to look at them as like internal soap bars. They're very cleansing, they're very purifying, they're very detoxifying, okay? So they're gonna come in and scrub out and lubricate all this stagnant waste in your digestive tract, okay? So that it can be eliminated. Fruit is way more effective in cleansing your body and undigested waste than water is, okay? Water is just kind of dead. It's plain. No one really needs water. Like I don't drink a lot of water at all. Maybe in some tea every now and then, but I get my hydration from my foods. Just like our ancestors. They weren't walking around with water bottles and portable filters filtering river water and pond water. They just ate fruits and vegetables, and even like sweet potatoes. If you have to steam those to cook them, those contain water. Even bananas, even avocados, everything in nature that you can eat contains water, okay? And these foods that contain water contain H3O2, which are way more purifying than H2O2, which is just, again, dead, plain water, all right? and it's structured water. It hydrates our cells, okay? Not just on a surface level like regular water. These water-rich foods come in and scrub out all the stagnancy within our blood and our digestive tract, okay? And really just get out all this waste, all right? Now, this undigested waste is toxic, okay? So your body basically goes into protection mode and stores this waste, in storage containers, but that's really just fat, right? And it does this so this undigested waste doesn't touch your vital organs. Okay, so when you eat in a calorie deficient, your body doesn't just melt the fat, because it knows if it does that, that toxic waste, this undigested waste from all this heavy, hard to digest, protein rich, dehydrating foods, all of this waste, it knows that if it releases that, it's going to just, pour out into your bloodstream, this toxic waste, and it's going to poison you, right? So your body is trying to protect you, from that happening by creating these new fat cells. Okay, it's legit just trying to protect you. And so it stores this waste as fat. Okay, so again, we gotta start eating whole foods. All right, no cereals, no breads. You gotta get off this stuff, even if it's gradually. Eat lots of steamed sweet potatoes, steamed squash, steamed vegetables, and prioritize water-rich foods. Again, these have living digestive activated enzymes in there that are going to help it. These enzymes basically just break the food down itself so that your body doesn't have to. Because if you're dealing with undigested waste, aka belly fat, you most likely have weak stomach acid. Okay, your stomach acid is responsible for breaking down your foods efficiently so that it can be eliminated through your bowels and not get clogged up, right? But because if, the standard American diet, a lot of us have been eating these foods, these heavy, dry, dense, hard to digest foods that require our bodies to produce an excess, unnatural amount of stomach acid, years and years and years of doing this, our stomach acid is weak. So it can't properly break down our foods efficiently. Okay? And when that happens, 90% of what we eat, if it's not super simple and water rich, it's not strong enough to break it down. So it turns into this undigested waste and stores as fat. So the only way to give our stomach acid a break to strengthen up again, to be able to break down our foods efficiently and to cleanse this clogged waste out of our body, we need to eat water-rich foods. Okay? Now, eating in a calorie deficient, it's not like normal, right? Our bodies, when we're hungry, we shouldn't be like restricting that. So this is also putting your body in a fight or flight mode, okay? And kind of like a survival mode. And when your body's in this fight or flight survival mode, your body, your digestive system essentially turns off, okay, and your digestive organs turn off, and the blood from your stomach rushes to your limbs, like your arms and your legs, because your body just thinks you got to run, like it thinks you're in survival mode, right? Our nervous system is very ancient. The only thing it knows us as being scared of back in the day as humans, ancient humans, is just like running from a lion, So this is what happens. You put your system in this, your nervous system in this fight or flight mode, and your digestive organs aren't breaking down your food properly. It's just sitting, turning into this undigested waste. This all goes back to undigested waste. Okay, your natural body was not meant to break down these foods, and it's meant to eat an abundance of food. Like we should be eating an abundance. I eat an abundance of food and I stay lean because my body and your body is not a calculator. It doesn't operate off of numbers, calories, okay? It operates off of hydration, like structured hydration in our food, and electricity, okay, which is in our food, right? So we gotta come back home. This is all about coming back home. When you eat your species specific designs food diet, you can eat an abundance of this stuff, okay? Like, I don't ever track calories. None of my clients track calories, and they're losing weight and they stay lean because they are eating these water rich foods. Like 60 to 70% of their diet is fruits and these non-sweet fruits. That's another thing. If you get headaches or stomach problems or have like negative side effects from eating sweet fruit, just stick to the non-sweet fruit for now. Cucumbers, bell peppers, celery, lettuce. Those are all water-rich. Carrots, okay? And you have these side effects is because they are very purifying. They're very cleansing. They're very detoxifying, excuse me. And if you have all this stagnant waste within your blood, in your fat cells, in your colon, that fruit is going to come in. Like I said, it's an internal soap bar. It's going to come in and start scrubbing that stuff. That stuff has been sitting there for years, if not decades. So you're going to feel headaches and like weirdness in your stomach and even different parts of your body. All right. That's not the fruit. That's the toxic waste just stagnant within your system. Okay. So start slow. Swap your breakfast out for a big juicy fruit breakfast. Do not pair this with anything other than fruit. Don't have fruits and nut butter. Don't have fruits and seeds. Just have that clean, juicy, purifying, water-rich, enzyme-rich fruit. Okay, get comfortable with this for a week or two, and then have a snack before your lunch. Make the breakfast, and then have another little fruit meal. Okay, and then eventually you can have your lunch be a big salad. Okay, and if you think you don't like salads, I highly advise you to grab my free light body activation guide. It's going to show you how to make a beautiful, delicious, easy, quick salad with these amazing dressings and dips and sauces that you can put on top. You don't want to be getting your sauces and dressings from the grocery store, because if you read the ingredients, they're all filled with syrups and gums and additives and preservatives, and especially inflammatory oils that your body just doesn't recognize. They're not natural. None of that stuff is in nature. They're all lab made. They're all highly processed. And so what happens when your body can't recognize something? It can't break it down efficiently, and it just stores it as waste. These storage containers store it as fat so they don't get released into your bloodstream, so they don't poison your organs. All right. So yeah, you got your breakfast, then you got your snack, and then you got your big lunch meal. You want to have your biggest meal in the middle of the day as well, because that's when your digestive fire is at its peak strongest, when the sun is at its highest. We are natural beings, so we have an internal clock that is in sync with the sun and the moon. When the sun's at its highest, that's when your digestive fire is at its strongest. Not dinner 2 hours before bed when it's trying to cleanse for the whole night. Your body cleanses while you sleep. And when you give it that time to kind of digest and break down your food before you go to sleep, it doesn't have to focus on breaking that food down all night, and it can focus on the other undigested waste from weeks and months and years ago. Okay. So breakfast, little snack before lunch, and then lunch, have that water rich radishes and bell pepper slices and cucumber slices and leafy greens or zucchini noodles or cucumber noodles, or like mixed greens, and just have a big salad and make a nice dressing. You can put some avocado. You can even just make guacamole your dressing or your sauce. Okay. And if you can at least just do that, and then just maybe have a little cooked food with it, maybe some steamed sweet potato or some lentils on top, or maybe some quinoa. Okay. Those are the cooked foods I recommend if you are going to eat them. Lentils, quinoa, steamed roots, especially steamed roots and steamed vegetables. Focus on those more than anything in terms of cooked, because they're water rich. And when you steam it, instead of roasting it or baking it, you don't need oil. Okay. And the water content can naturally stay in there. Okay. And yeah, maybe your dinner could just be like a little portion of that same salad, or just like a little soup, or just like some more fruit. Really, fruit. Do not fear the fruit. I know we've been sold that fruit is too much sugar, it's going to raise your blood sugar, but that is not the truth. Okay. The truth is, when you eat fruits with fats, that is what blocks the sugar from entering your blood cells. So then it stays in your blood and it rises it. Okay, so if you just eat fruit by itself, and make sure if you have cooked food or anything that's not fruit, wait a couple hours, because anything that's not fruit takes a couple hours to break down and digest fully. Wait a couple hours to have sweet fruits again. You want to get your sweet fruits in the first half of your day, and then you just have like your non-sweet fruits, your leafy greens, some steamed roots, steamed veggies, and then wait a couple hours. I like to have some fruit for dinner. Keep it light before bed, so my body's not focusing on breaking down this big meal like I just had for lunch. All right. So quick recap of just basically, you can't lose fat in a calorie deficient if you're not eating your species specific design. Okay, you can be eating 1200 calories, 800 calories, 1600 calories. If it is just more dry, dehydrating, processed, heavy, dense, waterless foods, it's just stacking on top of your undigested waste, showing up as belly fat. Okay, and this is putting your nervous system in that fight or flight mode. All right, you want to be in that rest and digest mode, not this survival mode. And to do that, you need to eat an efficient amount of calories, and your calories need to be, again, your species specific design, water rich. Your body is screaming for cellular hydration, for that H3O2 in the foods. Okay, if you follow this, the belly fat will come off. Okay, I promise you that. Just stay consistent, start slow, gradually, right? Like I said, breakfast, just swap out the breakfast for a week or two. Then, okay, you got that in, switch to lunch. Make lunch that big salad. Okay, grab those sauces and dressings below. Grab that guide, it'll show you how to make an amazing salad. And then just have a light dinner. And if you follow that, you can eat however much calories as you want. Your body will naturally send you these hunger fullness cues, right? Because cooked food is very, very addicting. And it's addicting because your body is saying, you know, there's not a lot of nutrients in this and a lot of minerals like there is in water rich food, right? So we're going to need a lot of this. It's not satisfied from the nutrients in that. But because water rich foods have so many minerals, so many enzymes, so many vitamins, so much hydration, cellular hydration within them, your body is naturally going to send you hunger cues. And you can't, and it has so much water in it, you know, your stomach's going to stretch, you're going to feel full easier. Okay, cooked food is so small, you can eat a little bit and it's like a huge amount of calories, and you can eat so much of it because it's not actually making your belly full. All right. And if you are going to have cooked foods, bonus tip, if you are going to have cooked foods, make sure you are pairing them with these non-sweet fruits, things like celery, bell pepper slices, cucumber slices, lettuce, carrot sticks. Choose one, pair, even if it's takeout, even if it's not something good for you and you know it's not good for you, even if it's a snack, just have those non-sweet fruits on the side, and you're going to feel so much better afterwards, because that living water rich food is going to help your body break down that cooked food with the enzymes and the water content that the cooked food doesn't have. So it can actually get broken down and be eliminated through your bowels, instead of just, again, turning into this undigested waste. All right, so that is it for today. Drop a comment of your key takeaway, your aha moment of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy healing, family. Cheers.